Okay, so this is going to be the ultimate try not to fall asleep challenge for myself because I feel like shit right now. But I've been putting this off for a couple of days and I really want to do it, so let's do it now. I'll try my best to explain things in a logical manner, and I am tired, so apologies if I make any mistakes, but I'll watch over the video afterwards and make sure. So I just wanted to show you well, it. A lot of people say it's mathematically impossible to travel faster than light, and it absolutely is. But there's more than just mathematical reasons for that. There's logical reasons as well, and many people don't really think of that. And it's something I want to open your eyes to a little bit. So to start off with, we have arguably one of the most famous equations in the history of physics, E equals mc squared. Now, I've written it a little bit differently here. I don't know, can you see that? I hope you can see that. E equals gamma mc squared, which is a little bit weird. You don't usually see a gamma in there, but the gamma here represents something called the relativistic factor or the Lorentz factor. So all that simply does is translates the equation to encompass energy, mass, and velocity as well. So it'll give us the form of E equals mc squared over the square root of 1 minus v squared over c squared. So you see that there. It gives us the good picture of what we're doing here. And from observation, from logical thought, um, if v squared is greater than c squared, i.e. if the speed is faster than light, then we have a number greater than 1 on the right hand side here. 1 minus a number greater than 1 is a negative number, which means then we have the square root of a negative number, which fucks everything, doesn't it? It really does, which causes our E to be a complex number, and as far as we know, energy can't really be a complex number. So let's just say for a minute that I can get around that fact that, for example, let's say that M is a complex number. I've written that very badly. It says here M is in the set of complex numbers. So if we say that M is a complex number and then the denominator is also a complex number, then that leaves the energy output as a real number. So we've now gotten around the fact of that. This is all completely hypothetical, mind you. And let's say now I want to create a function to demonstrate this. For example, I created earlier a very, very simple function that doesn't accurately map anything, but it shows a general behavior of this principle. So the function simply was f of x is equal to 1 over the square root of x over c, where c is the speed of light. So if you plot that function, it gives you something that looks a little bit like this. There you go. And keep in mind, this is very, very, very far zoomed out. This is in the millions of units. So for the x-axis, we have velocity, and on the y-axis, we have energy. So we can see here that we have an asymptote on the y-axis, meaning that when the velocity is 0, when x is 0, y is undefined. Energy cannot, the energy is undefined at 0. But as the velocity increases, the energy decreases towards 0, right? It never touches 0. I've drawn this terribly, but it never touches 0, but it does approach 0, which is very, very strange. You would think an object would need more energy to approach such high speeds, but no, it seems the opposite. As it loses energy, it gains velocity, and it goes so close to 0, but it never touches 0, and it keeps gaining velocity into infinity, essentially. So as x as as f of x approaches 0, x approaches infinity, which is very, very, very strange indeed. That should not really be how things function. So from there we have a very strange thing, and from that we can take that if you can imagine a standard object that cannot travel faster than light, that has a normal mass, the opposite is true for an object with imaginary mass. An object with imaginary mass can never travel slower than the speed of light. It could only travel faster than the speed of light. And that's the point I wanted to get across here. Yeah, so that's the mathematical part that I wanted to show you. Quickly, I just want to tell you a little bit more of a logical approach to this. A paradox known as the tachyonic antitelephone. I'll just sit a little bit closer here. Tachyonic antitelephone. Now, it's a very complex theory, paradox, and I do not have enough knowledge to explain it well enough. So all I'll say is my observation of it, in that the general gist of this paradox is that if you had a telephone that was capable of sending messages faster than the speed of light, then it would break what we know as causality, where causality is an event happening because of another event. So if I sent you a message on a telephone that sends messages faster than the speed of light, then the message would arrive to you before I sent it in the first place, meaning you would be able to respond to a message that I had not sent yet, which doesn't make any sense at all. And yeah, so that's the logical part of it done. And I don't know, I just wanted to make this quick video to explain my viewpoint on how this works. Yeah, thank you for watching.